Tune in and dial in. Hey, it's the Connected Corner! We're going to get news and resources you can actually use.
Hey, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. And we're so excited. We're excited. I am your girl, Tori Rose, the Connector. And who do I have with me?
Kiana B. Jones.
Hey, Kiana B. Jones. So listen, we are excited.
That was my sexy voice.
It's Kiana B. Jones. So we have an amazing woman in the studio tonight, guys. We are excited about her. And because we are in an environment where people are always talking about taxes and accounting and money. And I saw a meme the other day that was really funny. It said, so y'all went from selling dinners out your house to fixing credit. Now y'all doing taxes? Nah. And so, many times as entrepreneurs, we jump from one idea to the other. Right. But it is great to know that we have professionals and real CPAs and accountants that are in our network. And so tonight we're going to meet with someone who is all of that and a bag of chips.
You heard me say that?
I heard you say it. So let's not belabor. Let's jump right to our guest.
All right. So we're bringing to the stage, to the seat, to the mic, Miss Nio Carter. And so Miss Nio Carter Gray is what we call the fun accountant.
Yes.
And so she has coined making taxes a little less taxing.
Oh, I love it.
Making accounting a little less taxing.
Oh, I love it.
And they're cute. Mm-hmm. And somebody tried to steal that from her. But we're going to talk about that. And so don't try to steal her stuff, y'all. So we're going to talk about Nio Carter Gray. It's going to come on down.
Come on down.
And so as she takes her seat,
hey girl,
like we just gotta say, people don't like to talk about their self, but we're gonna I gotta talk about her for a second, okay? And so Miss Nio is self-proclaimed techie, okay? So she's like the techie accountant.
I love it.
And so really, honestly, like I get all my app advice from this lady right here.
Yes, app advice. Hashtag that.
Yes, absolutely. So virtual accounting practice is the best way to experience her love of travel and still help small business owners all across the U.S. reduce the stress of managing their disorganized financial systems. Lord have mercy. Do people have some disorganized financial systems, right? Nobody wants to deal with numbers, right? And so you got to be a special kind of person for that. But Ms. Carter Gray is an enrolled agent. And so for those who don't know what that means, is that she can actually represent you at the IRS.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Get yourself something enrolled.
And that means that she's licensed in every state. It is a national federal accreditation for taxes, not just a state accreditation for taxes. So when we said we having an expert tonight, we got expert here for y'all, okay? Awesome. And so we're going to just talk about those things that people don't like to talk about. What's the time of the season? It's tax season.
It's
all the tax
find
memes.
Yourself a baby mama and move in time.
Yes, all the tax memes that is out there. And so we just want to talk about just your knowledge of QuickBooks and accounting, and then you just got named
Forbes' top 100 tax Twitter accounts to follow.
Yes, come on, okay. Forbes, drop the mic on it.
Drop the mic on that. And so we're just very honored and proud and happy to have Miss Nio Carter Gray here with us.
Welcome. Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Imagine?
Yeah. But you're always so fly, and I love that. And, and so it's one of those things like when you have a hairstylist who's never got her hair done, and it makes you look and say, do you really love what you do? When you see an accountant or a financial person who was presented well, right? Their skin look good, their clothes look good, their hair look good. It's like, oh, you look like money. What it look like? Look like money. What it smell like? Smell like money.
Oh,
and so, 2 snaps in a bag. Right. And so I personally appreciate that. And I know it's superficial, but it's just the culture, right?
It is.
Do you find that people often misjudge you because of our culture, our cultural understanding or misunderstanding of what an accountant is?
Absolutely. Especially the hair. So, you walk in a room and you have a little afro, and then you got some color on the ends. It's kind of like, you do what again? No, you can't do that. And I'm a jokester. I love all the trap music in the whole wide world. So it's kind of like,
rep your stuff.
You're on the right show.
She's on the right show.
Right. Like, you're an accountant. Like, what?
Right.
So but at the same time, I love my suits. I didn't come in here with a suit today.
Thank
but
God, because I would have been like, girl, we smell like chalk and textbooks.
That's so funny. I went to the gym before I took a shower and just I was like, they're gonna be comfortable. Let me be
Yeah,
comfortable.
let me be comfortable.
Yes. But yeah, the whole coordinated thing.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah,
We did it.
yeah.
And we didn't even do this on purpose. She hadn't seen
Y'all
it.
all the time.
It's
Just
crazy.
yes,
I
you're
know.
so
I just
you're
wanna-
connected.
Girl,
Right.
somebody I'm blinking twice. Save me. Save me. No.
Right. It's like, how?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, so literally, I mean, I get up on the days that I have to go out. I'm supposed to be up at 5:45. I'm pulling myself up somewhere at 6:15, and I'm dressed and I'm out, you know, and about, and I may not see her till 12 hours later, and then we're dressed alike. It's like, dude, you know.
Like, yeah, can you get out my head?
Right.
I think
Yeah,
she
it's
doing it on purpose. I think she be like,
Oh, she be in your
God,
closet.
what's she
like,
wearing today? Tell me.
Lord Jesus.
Tell me what
Give
what
me
color
all
she
the
So
wearing
wait a
today.
minute, she went and bought all clothes so that they could all match you.
All match. Give me a divine prophetic understanding of what Kiana is wearing today, oh Lord. People
And
are
let me
dying
pick-
everywhere.
pick
but
the
let
opposites.
let me pick a coordination, Lord Jesus. You said you are in every finite detail.
Too.
Anyway, I digress. So speaking of finite details,
Right.
accounting.
Oh yes, it's the one thing that small business owners want to ignore for as long as
Yeah,
possible.
That's me.
But it's the one thing small business owners need to pay attention to
It's me too.
before they even start the business.
Who
I
wants to
know.
order?
That's what it sounds like. I know.
Who
I
wants to
sound
order?
like the adults on the Charlie Brown cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, the realization is if you're not paying attention to it,
Mm-hmm.
your business may not survive as long as it could had you set your systems up in place from the jump.
That's good. Say that again.
Systems.
Survive and thrive, right?
Yes, yes. And you know, people oftentimes don't want to talk to an accountant or a tax preparer because one, it's like revealing your soul. It's like, I'm naked under this jacket. You're going to see everything. And trust me, you are not the worst person on the planet. I have seen some things. So trust me, you're not the worst. And then two, people think it's unaffordable. When you talk to a person initially, you may not work with them every single month, but they may have a consulting fee that you know you can pay, and guess what? It's a tax write-off, especially if you're getting business advice. If it's for your business, you probably can write it off on your taxes.
Oh, that's really good. So do you do taxes and accounting?
I do accounting, bookkeeping, taxes. I do payroll for my bookkeeping clients, consulting and education. So one of the things that Kiana mentioned QuickBooks. I just came off of a stint as one of the Intuit Accounting Council members. That was a two-year stint, right? And I loved every minute of it. What we did was basically help them improve the product for its users.
Oh,
And
Intuit. I used to know them.
everybody knows Intuit. You know, they're the makers of TurboTax, QuickBooks. I'm sure you have seen commercials, especially around this time of year. The TurboTax commercials start ramping up. And as a tax preparer, I will be the first to admit every taxpayer does not need to see a tax professional. So TurboTax can work for simple tax returns. Now, the question is, what's a simple tax return?
You're 17, you live in your mother's basement, and you work at Chick-fil-A.
That's simple. Or but you don't have to be, you know, we don't have to put an age on it, so to say, because technically I would rather the 17-year-old not do anything with that tax return until his parents do something.
Oh.
Because if a 17-year-old is filing their own tax return, they can screw something up, right? But a 35-year-old person who just has one job and no business, no mortgage, none of that, no
That
rental
person also
properties.
lives on their mother's couch. I'm just asking. Because when we think of simple,
No. See,
Okay.
mother's couch could also run into dependency issues.
Ah.
So we want an independent single person with a job
I love it.
and no additional responsibility.
So all you grown
And sexy people.
adults, men's living in your mama basement, you is a dependent.
You might you could be a dependent.
Listen, you better ask your mother where your 250.
Right.
Your mama been claiming you, Leroy. Not Leroy, though. Not my Al Leroy. I just use that name.
okay.
Because we love Al Leroy. Love you, Leroy.
So funny. So
Yes.
funny.
And so, this is corny, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
You talk about QuickBooks. What is a slow book? It's corny, I told you. But tell me, if you had to explain to someone QuickBooks versus slow books, what would that be?
Okay, so QuickBooks is a software you use to manage the financial side of your business. So what it does is help you produce financial statements. And people are like, what's a financial statement? That can include a multitude of statements, but the basic ones are a balance sheet, which tells you the health of your organization. It tells you, how much cash you have in the bank, what kind of assets you got, who owns the business, who do you owe, who owes you, and then your profit and loss statement, which essentially tells you how much the business is earning or losing. So these are important because you don't want to have a business that you're running and not knowing if you're making money or losing money. And then on the flip side also, if the business is making a ton of money, you want to be prepared for taxes, because I see a lot of business owners have to go back to work because they weren't prepared for the tax consequences of actually having a successful business.
Wow, that's so good.
And I guess that's like the Wesley Snipes and a lot of these people who end up in a bad situation. I always cringe when young people, get
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
So Wesley Snipes is a whole different ball game when it comes to tax.
So tax issues.
He did have tax issues
Wesley Snipes, the guy that was the
oh yes, Blade.
Blade.
Yes, girl, New Jack City. Wesley
Yeah, he
Snipes.
had years of
Come
tax
on,
issues.
Some of us are 35.
Okay, how about
Tony
Lauren
Braxton.
Hill? Oh,
Lauren Hill,
Tony
Tony
Braxton. Tony
Braxton.
Braxton had bankruptcy issues. I don't necessarily know that she. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lauren Hill had tax issues.
$2 million or something, right?
Yes.
I remember that.
That's
Okay.
crazy. Now,
Thank
how
you.
do you get up to on the IRS $2 million?
Because
That's
she
easy.
came off the grid.
Well, the thing is, if you're not tracking your income or your expenses, or you're not filing your tax returns, the IRS will file what they call a SRF. They basically file the return for you, and it's the worst situation
That could
possibly be. So they give you absolutely no expenses, give you all the income that people reported for you. So what people don't realize is that people report income with your social or your tax ID number. So they'll create a tax return and say you owe $2 million.
Right. Well, I mean, for me being inside the federal government and understanding there's other federal accounting systems that need that information. And so SSA was one of them.
Yes.
CMS was one of them. And so when we start to look at it, and when we would pull up a person's social and it would have no earnings, we would literally kick back to the IRS and say, you got to give us something.
Yeah.
And so you have to find, because in order for us to do our job, if it's retirement, if it's survivor's benefits, if it's anything that's built on a family maximum, I need to know what this person earns.
Right.
And so when you start to think about there's all of these computer systems talking to one another across the board, just trying to get something on you.
Right.
Yeah, it can be very scary and it can be detrimental.
But that's also the other thing that people don't think about. So when they're like, I'm not filing because I don't want to pay the IRS anything,
exactly
right?
how they be with their phones, too.
Like,
They be aggressive.
I'm like, oh, so I'm not
gonna
filing.
file
That's
it.
the dumbest thing
So,
ever.
but one of the things that I like to tell, because this is so, I'm going to say my grown 70s revolutionaries
Amen.
did not want to file because they didn't want to report to the man. But now they're at the age now, it's like, I want Social Security.
Fact.
Well, bro, man, you don't have 10 years of earnings, so
Right.
I don't know what you expecting to
Right.
get.
You better call Tyrone.
Or if
Oh, actually,
you
that was
pass
not
away,
Lauren. Who was that?
that was
Yeah,
Erica
Erica
Badu.
Badu.
If you pass away, guess who? Your baby's not getting a thing, right? Which is also like, you're not just hurting yourself. Like, you think I'm
Yeah.
sticking it to the man, but you're
Right.
not, though. You're also
Hurting your
hurting
family.
your families.
Right, because you're not going to win against the system, right?
Right.
Okay.
And so Kiana brought a point up about you think you owe. So that's another thing. If you think you're going to owe, file anyway.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And the
Gunshot.
reason being is because you can put you can set up a payment plan,
Right.
but there is a penalty for not filing on time.
Amen.
So we want to avoid all the penalties.
All the penalties, because they add
Now
up.
it's going to be interest and penalties for whatever you may owe, but avoid the failure to file penalty.
How much is that normally?
It depends on how
It's like
much
a
you owe.
percentage?
Yes, it can be a percentage. Yes, yep. So
at
think
least
about it
avoid
like
that.
5% of whatever you owe. It could be.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's high. It's like speaking of penalties, I'm on. Look,
I was like,
Look,
I
I
mean,
got
child,
because
because
juicy.
yes.
Right.
So okay, we're gonna
Juicy.
go to these LLC owners.
Oh,
Right.
Good, because I was going to ask a question about church. Go
Oh.
ahead. Go ahead.
Church.
Church.
Churches.
She said, "Look, Lord Jesus."
Lord Jesus,
churches.
right, churches. So it was funny because I was just talking to a girl, like, I don't do nonprofit accounting or taxes. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'd rather serve in the organization and not serve outside the organization.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing. I'd rather help the small business owners who absolutely have no clue what the heck they're doing,
Oh, amen.
but saw a QuickBooks or TurboTax commercial and now they believe they can do it themselves because it's simple.
Amen.
And
Hashtag to that.
I'm gonna stop saying the TT word because there are other tax software out there that people use as well. Okay, so back to these LLC owners, and I have to bring this up because it's a big misconception that you need an LLC to have a business. You do not. So, like in our state, Maryland, it costs $300 to maintain an LLC. So you're paying setup fees to start a business without proof of concept. So the business isn't making money, it's losing money from the jump. And then two, you have not maintained the purpose of the LLC, which is to protect you separate you, the individual, from the business. If you're doing what we call commingling, so all the money goes in one pot, you're spending it here, paying for your nails, paying for little Kiki at the Red Box movie.
Yes, Kiki. Well, I didn't already called out Leroy, so it's about time.
Right. Oh, sorry. Not this Kiki.
Not this
Not
Kiki.
this cake. But,
As you said, at the Red Box.
I still go to Red Box. I found out nobody goes to Red Box anymore. I still go to
We
the
don't
Red
even watch
Box.
TV.
Oh, y'all a gangster. I watch so much TV.
Don't even own them.
Oh,
Can you imagine walking through a house and not seeing ATV?
I'm not. Okay, remember, I'm a self-proclaimed techie. I will have all the TVs.
Yeah,
I
want them
I
all.
have a 60-inch curved TV, 4K.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes,
I love it.
Yeah.
I just sold a
They love it.
65-inch. Someone gifted me a 65-inch TV.
Oh.
Out of the kindness of their heart, they love me, and I appreciate it.
And it never came out the box.
It never came out the box. And so it collected little items on top of it. And then I was like, I should sell this. And so shout out to the guy who came and bought the TV because, yeah, now. But anyway, to your point,
Okay,
Kiki
yeah.
at the Red Box.
So if you got all the business income and the personal stuff all together,
Commingled.
it's called commingling. The IRS could potentially disallow your deduction. So, and then if somebody sues you, they can say this isn't a business
Right,
because you're
'cause
paying
you
for
got
your
all this
nails
stuff,
and
right.
Red Box and going to McDonald's in the morning and get your egg and cheese biscuit with a cup of
Wow.
coffee. So all of that messes up
That's so
the
interesting.
business. And then the other thing is when people set up an LLC and they have a partner. I have an investor, a partner. That's a whole different tax return. That's a partnership return. Husbands and wives setting up businesses, and you're like, we putting this on our personal taxes. That's wrong. Right?
I need a commercial with you just doing that's
It's,
wrong.
That's wrong. Like it's one of those things. If you set up a business and you have somebody involved with you in the business, it's a partnership. It's no longer a sole proprietorship. It gets reported differently. There are tons of rules. I won't go into all of them, but just know at that point you definitely need a professional to help you.
So let's go back because that's a lot. And this is expert advice, and you're sitting here talking to two entrepreneurs. And don't worry about if we got quick books or slow books. That's none of your business. But we at least understand the concepts, right?
Yes.
And you are our sister girl. I get to inherit you because you were Kiana's sister girl. And what's hers is mine. And so we are a little more familiar with the concepts. But let's talk to the person that's listening that may be on the cusp of hating their job, their 9 to 5, wanting to start a business, not knowing where to start, having all these thoughts and ideas. What is step one?
Step one is prove your concept. So if you have an idea, the idea of being a full-time entrepreneur is glamorous now, but people don't realize it's work, and sometimes you can't shut it off. And if you have a job right now that is sustaining your bills, taking care of your family, your children, it's no need to just up and quit. You don't have to do that. You can prove your concept, making sure that the business is going to make you money before you chuck the deuces to the employer, right? So the first step is always to prove the concept. What is it that you want to do? Test it out on a few people. And I will say, your friends and family will not be your biggest supporters. They will be your biggest referrers. So what you want is their network. So when you ask them to help support you in some kind of way, don't get an attitude if they don't buy. It's okay. You know, ask them, hey, this is what I'm doing. Who can you share this with? Or can you share it? I would appreciate it. Cost you absolutely nothing. Or if you want to be extra nice, like I love to do, just send random $5 Starbucks gift cards to people. People appreciate that. You know, it's a generous offer. Thank you very much.
That's nice.
Yeah, so prove your concept first.
Can you write those $5 gift cards off?
You can, as a
Awesome.
yeah, it's a gift. So gifts. I do have a wonderful blog that has some of these things that when I start lighting up gifts.
She was just like she just did. She'll be in the house. I'm like, oh yes.
So you know, right? So gifts is one of them because people love gift giving, right? But for tax purposes, unfortunately, it is a old. Can I say curse words on there?
Curse.
Oh, it's an old ass law.
20. It's even a hard curse.
I know
word.
it's not. Look, I
I
had to get approval first.
It's a soft one.
It was a soft one. So it's a old ass rule, but the limit is $25. So if I'm giving you a gift, I can only write up to $25 off. Now that's a gift for Kiana. But if it's like a pen and it's got the business name on it, that's different, right? We talking.
Marketing.
I bought her a gift.
Oh wow, $25.
That's
Baby, somebody buy me a $25 gift. We go together. Cause times is hard nowadays. Hey boy, how's our mother? You is mine and I'm yours.
I thought it was $40.
Look, I was gonna say $25.
Well,
That's
Chick love
$40.
But if you buy me a $25 gift, you can cash at me to 15. Anyway, I digress. But start there.
Girl, how about I get you some free nuggets from Chick-fil-A?
Oh my God, girl, you get me Chick-fil-A, you is holy. You is stuck with me. She pray. She pray and she slay. Chick-fil-A. So, right, I love it. You know, I have to drop in hot bars. Prove your concept. Yeah, we dropping hot bars.
Girl, me too. I'll be in the car like, give me an instrumental. You would think I'm turning into Megan Thee Stallion here.
And I'm Cardi T.
Hey.
Y'all not
Someone
ready.
said, Kim said, is that Nayo? Hey, lady.
Hey, who is that?
Hey,
Hi.
Kim.
Out Thorville.
Hi, Kim.
Oh my God,
Real,
that's so
real
funny. Got real professional. Hey girl, good to see you.
Look, my friends know me. See, look, right now, if you follow me on Instagram, Nayo
And how
Carter
to
Gray, look.
spell it?
NAYOCARTERGRAY. That is my personal Instagram account. It is definitely open to the public, but right now I'm participating in what's called the Video Per Day experiment. And so I'm doing 30 days of 1-minute videos where I'm kind of giving you a peep into some of the things that I absolutely like. So
that's dope.
yeah, it's a cool experiment. Shout out to Twilight Helm who put this all together. Now we have a whole bunch of accountants and other tax professionals who are shooting videos who normally would have been head down in the grind doing the work. Yeah,
I love that idea.
I should try that. I'm trying so hard.
I know it's hard. It's hard
I just
to be
cannot
committed
get
to
into
it.
doing
I want to do it in
videos.
April because April is 30 days and April is the election time and it gives me time to work through my anxiety before I have to do it.
But that's the whole purpose of it. It's practice. So you'll
Practice for what?
practice for you to be able to be better on video. Like you'll see the first video and then get to the last video and you're like, oh, I'm like a pro now, and then it doesn't become so hard.
I love that.
It's practice to get out of the habit of not doing video.
And so it's a little different. Like my world started as a motivational speaker, right? And so the video is not the issue. It's the vulnerability. And so I'm very good, like, oh yeah, let me tell you, you gotta go from motivated to activated and blah, blah, blah. That's good. We can do that. But it's like, I have a headache right now. I hate my child. I hate my life, and my feet stink.
Oh, girl.
That
okay.
that stuff.
But that is real. It makes you
real.
relatable. So,
Yeah.
okay, let's go there. Let's talk about, like, yesterday. I posted a video. Yesterday was a shit show. Okay, so for those of you who have had a bad day, yesterday was mine, right? And I don't get bad days too often because I'm a big planner, so I like to organize my life. But all the things that could go wrong yesterday kind of went wrong, and so for me, it just made the day like hella draining. So I was like, good thing I can go to sleep and reset. So that's what I did. Today was a much better day.
Awesome.
But
You videoed and doing that?
I videoed saying my day was like I'm ready to cuss somebody out. Like somebody gonna get these words if I don't go to sleep.
Somebody gonna get the real Megan.
Right, they gonna get these words, right? Like I was ready. I was lit.
Yeah.
Like somebody, like you could have been like, have a nice day. I'd have been like, no, you don't have no nice day.
What's so nice
about it? Right.
Your mother.
But you know, it's also one of those things I do I go through things. Like I had eye surgery. I posted pictures when my eye looked at a whole hot mess, like with the eye patch on. People like
she said looked it. It looked at
a whole hot mess. Oh yes, Lord
What
Jesus.
was it? Was it cataract?
It was not. I actually have a lazy eye that we were trying to correct.
Okay.
I don't know the technical term for it, but let's just say she overcorrected it, so it's still.
Now it's an overactive eye. It
It's-
went from being a
so
procrastinating eye.
it went from being too far this way to now too far this way. So it's so funny. Yes.
Oh, wow, she
But
overcorrected
I
it.
can't tell because it looks like you're looking right at me.
Because I have my head tilted.
Oh, and
So
then
this
you
is
better work
look.
it. You better
You
know
have
how
to.
to work
You
it.
have to right. So again, I'm looking at the camera. I'm like, ooh, these eyes look crazy. But I had to do that in order to figure it out.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's
You inspire me. I don't know. I mean, it's like a little of the vulnerability part, and then it's like, what am I gonna say? Because I'm one of those people. I'm gonna admit that I was judgy to people who just like always doing videos.
Did you
Be
say
like,
was?
huh? Was judgy about
was?
videos about people.
I just wanted to say am.
I was.
It's okay.
And still like,
Look,
like videos where he be like, that is not the like for me when live started, when people first, he be like, why am I you
looking
walk
at the
around
ceiling?
Walmart? Why are
Right.
you on live? So it's like those type of things, and so it just got me like, no, I don't want to. So yeah, we do live like the radio show or events or things, and it took me a while to even do that. So we're like, you want? I'm like, no, it's good. Like they here, they know,
Right.
You know. So it took me a while just to get to this stage to really like
Plus,
do real stuff.
For us, it's a little generational thing too. Like we have learned to connect with people in real life, right?
Yeah.
What is real life?
Real life is real life, right?
Oh,
This is when
creepy.
when I'm touching somebody.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's a difference for us where we
I feel
had a
silly, like, talking to
smartphone,
the screen.
but it's not necessarily that we grew up with smartphones.
Right.
So like I was talking to a girl today at the gym about my first computer. It was an old Macintosh. You plugged into the TV and you had to type in commands. The first video game I ever played was a game called Lemonade. And literally, it was you had a lemonade stand and you were telling the computer to mix the lemonade, set the price at $1, sell 4 cups. Like, it was the funnest game, but it was the dumbest game. Like, to the standards today when we're playing on cell phones and
That's
the
why
technology.
you became an accountant. You were working with money and stuff then.
My fault. Well, yes and no. So math, I had a bomb math teacher. Shout out to Miss Everhart at Mount Royal Elementary Middle School, who was teacher of the year for several years in a row. She was the
Mount Royal.
absolute best
In the
math
70s,
teacher
80s. Was it 80s, 90s? I'm not being funny. I just
in the 80s.
Okay. I'm just,
Girl, I'm a grandma. I'm in my 40s.
Amen. Well, listen, it's funny that you said that. I made my mother a grandmother at 42. And I didn't realize it until the other day we were talking. I was like, well, wait a minute. How old am I? How old is Joshua? How old is Pammy? I had to do the math. She's a girl. She was 42. Ooh, child. But it happened. So anyway,
Yes.
you had a bomb math teacher.
Bomb math teacher. So that's where my love of addition, subtraction, multiplication came from. Then I went to Lake Clifton. People were like, Lake Clifton? They had a citywide program. I lived all the way in West Baltimore, went to East Baltimore to go to school.
You could have gone to Western.
I didn't want to go to Western because it was an all-girls school, and now I could have gotten in. You're absolutely right, but I was tired of the heifers. So, sorry, ladies. I
Don't laugh now. He
I was
gets on
tired
my
of the
nerves.
heifers.
like.
Hashtag that. Somebody put that on my shirt. I'm tired of the heifers.
I went to school. I lived in Richmond for 3 years and came back to finish my 8th grade year at Lamel.
Oh, wow.
And so, let's just say it wasn't some nice ladies at Lamel. So I was like, I don't want to be around none of y'all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I can imagine.
So-
you know, I remember when I thought you were Erica? Did you know that? Did you ever know that I thought you and Erica were the same person?
No, that's funny, but I quite often hear that me and Erica look alike, and I'm like, we're just both dark skinned, wear glasses, and have short hair. And I
stop.
love Erica, but
First of all, you
Oh.
said 3 of the main identifiers.
because
Same height.
We
same,
are not-
Y'all pretty much the same
Okay,
build.
okay.
Y'all were the
Yeah.
same height, same build. And so I
Y'all
would be
pretty
like,
much the
oh.
same build.
I was like,
and then when
Kiki,
they
how
both
she
had
changed
like had the
short
regular,
haircut?
yeah, come
Yes.
on. Only like now because y'all hair is different.
our hair is different.
And people
but
used to
I look
say
at
it
her
all
like
the time.
we don't look alike. It's just complexion.
No, you
but
don't
it's
look
all
alike when
good
you don't
because
know the person.
I love her.
Well, when you don't know the person. And so
I
I
love
would walk
her.
in Aunt
I
Debbie's
love
house. I love her. I would walk in Aunt Debbie's house like, is she speaking to me again? I just spoke to her. Did I just speak to her? Well, she changed her shirt. But hi, girl. Hi. And I thought y'all were the same person.
See, that's how much you was into yourself.
Girl,
Ooh.
girl, amen.
But that at that time.
Listen, amen. But also depression. And so I walked around wholly and solely depressed for years, and my family didn't know. And
That's a lot of people.
And people just, oh, she's so self-centered. Girl, I'm just trying to walk up the steps without falling, or come into this house without falling apart. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so it's funny because Kiana has had friends and mentees who were like, I saw your cousin out. She ain't even speak to me. She looked at me like she ain't know me. Girl, I was probably on every antidepressant. Let me tell you about my life, shorty. Cheers to water. There used to be a time when this bottle would not have had water in it. I would have opened it and all the flowers died. Okay.
Okay.
Cheers to water. But
See, but look, that's the vulnerability
That
right
could've been
there.
the video.
Right.
That,
Well, it's on the
fire.
video.
There you go. It's on fire. There you go. It's on fire.
you could have made your personal video.
Honey. Well,
Like-
and so that type of stuff that's overcome, right? And so I'm gonna tie this into an accountant.
Okay,
If you watch
awesome.
this.
Yes, let's bring
So,
this back to the
that-
numbers.
right. That is overcoming. That is a triumph. That is a testimony. Living in your everyday, whatever today's truth is the vulnerability because you have not yet overcome it, right?
Yes.
And so too frequently I see people who are financially struggling.
Yes.
There you go. Watch this time. Watch
Okay.
this time. And so going to a professional, going outside of an H&R Block to someone that looks like them, black woman to black woman, this is today's current financial dilemma. I'm uncomfortable bringing it to you. I can sit across from Huey Stewie at H&R Block, white man. There's already a complex and a programming that is said to us that we are supposed to be inferior to him. But with my sister girl sitting here telling me with herself all together that I couldn't claim these $6,000 worth of wigs. And
Child.
you understand? That vulnerability is very real. How
is.
have you been able to maneuver or manage through those people that you know you can help, you know they need your help, but they're just way too stuck in oneself or in self to be able to receive your help?
So first things first is I do shows like this. I've been on some podcasts. I've spoken at some national conferences. I am active on social media. So you see my face, you hear me get real with you. Like, and I don't sugarcoat things. But when it comes to clients, what I normally do is I have a initial call with them and allow them to like dump. So it starts off with, hi, I'm Naya Carter, First Step Accounting. You booked this meeting with me. Tell me how I possibly can help you. So one, they don't feel locked in. They're like, oh, okay, let's see. And normally, and they know that it's a 15-minute call, so they just get to going. So I hear everything for the most part that I need to hear in that first 15 minutes. Once I hear what the problem is, I explain to them how I can help them. Or if I can't help them, I'll try to refer them to someone who I know is a better resource. So from the beginning.
And so, caveat: if I can't help y'all, that's who
This is
who
my
I'm
better-
referring.
this is my better resource.
This is who I'm referring.
Right. It's my better resource.
Like, girl, I got somebody coming your way. They about to text you now.
Right. Yes.
So who do you prefer then to? You have a network of people?
I do, and it's all kind of different people. So some people, and I work primarily virtually. So now with tax preparation, accounting, bookkeeping, everybody has a smartphone. You don't have to sit across from me and watch me work, or basically talk to me while I'm plugging in numbers, right? Or try to make small talk. We don't have to. We can avoid that whole awkward silence thing,
good.
or even the awkward conversation, because some people actually want to talk to me, which sometimes makes it a little harder to do the return, because it's like, I'm trying to focus here. Right? It's like, you don't
Honey,
want to
hush.
Right.
I got you owing $1 million. Shut up.
Right. So, but there's a level of anxiety there. So, so when that 15-minute call, they tell me everything that's wrong. I tell them how I can help them and what the process is, so they know from the jump. So I'm open book, So as long as you're open with people, and they tell you what the issues are, it pretty much lends itself into a mutually beneficial relationship, especially when they know I don't have to come and sit in front of you while you do this.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome.
And see your melanated skin and your
Right.
cute curls and feel all inferior because I ain't paid my taxes since 1996.
Right.
And I mean, working at SSA, we used to hear it, we used to see it. Now I'm going into this new line of, the politics. I don't know if you guys saw that the mayoral candidates are now putting forth their tax returns.
Oh, nice.
And so they're, calling for transparency. So look at my tax return. I filed my tax return. How do you feel about things like that, where in these political realms or church realms, or like you talked about nonprofits, how do you feel about it? Do you think it's a good practice? Not so good of a practice?
Well, if you're asking someone to be fiscally responsible for a whole city or country or state, I do think it's a very good practice, because you want to see how they're living their personal financial lives. Like, I'm not going to hand you $1 million if you're a gambler, right? Because that's the problem. That could be a trigger for you. It's like, ooh, we got this money to spend, and I'm not going to set you off like that. So if my city, state, county is in a financial mess, right? I kind of want somebody whose personal finances isn't a mess. Now, they don't have to be making $5 million, but at least I want to see that you're fiscally responsible. That one, you have filed. Two, if you owe anything, you've paid.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Filed and paid, y'all. Come on, where y'all at, mayors?
Or in a payment plan. So like I said, sometimes we get into these situations where we're too successful and owe hundreds and thousands of dollars of taxes, and it has happened to small business owners all across the U.S. So if that's the case, again, you're setting up a payment plan, you're being transparent about it and open, and like, I'll tell people I haven't gotten a refund in like my son been gone.
How old is your son now?
26.
Wow.
Yeah.
Put things in perspective.
He's like grown person out the house. So every year I owe a little bit. And so I was talking to a client today. She's like, I don't know if I'm doing this right or wrong. She files her own taxes, and she's like, I don't get anything back. And I was like, tax refunds, let's talk about them.
Yeah, let's talk
Right?
about that.
We're going to talk about it. You get a $5,000 tax refund. If I came to you and said, give me $5,000, I'm going to pay you back next year with no interest, what's your answer going to be? Hell to the no, right? So a tax refund is an interest-free loan that you've given the government for a whole year, and they're not going to pay you back with interest. But if you owe them, they're going to tack on interest and penalties. Now, that's not in all cases. There are some people who get refundable credits, and if you get those credits, that might mean you're what the government considers below the poverty line. And so they're trying to help stimulate the economy and help boost you up. So they give you these extra funds. So stop telling your coworkers, I got $9,000 check.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And your coworker comes to me and is like, why is her check $9,000
All the
and
time.
mine is not?
Right,
And I'm like,
Because y'all got different situations.
right. And
right.
every situation is different.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
can sit here next to these two women and name off 3 differences right away.
Oh yeah.
I don't have small children in the house anymore. You got Joshua. I got a business full time. Oh, yeah. Right? Full time business owner. But y'all might have a partnership tax return.
Right.
I have an S Corp tax return.
Right.
I get a W-2.
Right.
I put money in a SEPA IRA. So, you know.
They would be looking for me, the FBI, if I touch somebody's taxes. Call that one out. I don't do taxes. Y'all don't want me. I ain't going from cooking, baking cakes and crab cakes to tax schedules,
Yeah.
baby. And so, why do you think so many people are doing that though? Because I've seen some girlfriends. I'd be like, ooh, wow. And so, not to be judgmental. Well, not. And not to
let
be
me be
judgmental,
judgmental. I'm going to be judgmental for you.
Okay, please do the.
It's because people like to take advantage of the people who get these large tax refunds. So it's we call them pump and dumps. I'm gonna set up shop right here, pump out a whole bunch of returns, and then I'm gonna dump you because I'm gonna be out the door. You're not gonna be able to find me. And they file these fraudulent tax returns and take advantage of these low income preparers.
And
That's what I call them, pump and dumps.
wow, it's like somebody's baby daddy. You say pump and dump. Diamond K, give me a T-shirt. Put pump and dump on it. I'm gonna send it somewhere. I'm gonna
He
send
said
it.
it's
somewhere.
a pump and down.
Pump and dump.
yeah.
He's a pump and dump.
Well, I was thinking about something. Well, we talked about people who feel like if they owe, they're not going to file, and then of course the people who feel like I get that a lot, and I'm sure like for years it's like, oh well, this person even now they look at what somebody else got, they say somebody else got this refund. This is the story. This is not the reason why I don't really do taxes like before like I used to. But I had a situation one time, a young lady, and I stopped doing her taxes after this because I'm one of those people, we both like to educate people, right? And so it is about moving you forward. And so she was an LPN, and that's a licensed practitioner nurse for those. I know people use the acronyms.
Yeah, all the time.
But and so I did her taxes, and just the situation, her child had gotten a little older. Well, she no longer qualified for earned income credit because she had made
she made so much money.
$9,000 more than she did the year before. And so she was referred to me by her nieces who were like social workers or something. So they were professional. So I was like, okay, I'll take on because I'm particular about who I deal with.
Girl, bougie black folk.
Particular.
I love it.
And
No,
so
it's about qualifying
And peace
the
of mind.
Whatever.
client.
I hear y'all.
No,
Whatever.
see,
Come on.
Peace of
and
mind.
Both of my black folk talk about
because-
I have a quality and standard. in
No, it's
expectation
about
of my
knowing.
client.
Child, it's about knowing who your target audience
Yes,
is. Okay,
honey. And
I
my
don't
camera
scream.
can I look in?
I don't scream at everybody because
Right.
I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Like
Right.
I had somebody. I have a video online where I actually said a cuss word, and somebody took the time and the liberty to send me an email to tell me this video would have been better if you didn't cuss in it. And I said, well, I didn't send the video to you in the first place. I cuss in real life, so you're going to get me. If that's too much for you to handle, I can give you 3 names of people you can deal with that don't curse.
So if that's too much, then get the hell off my live. But okay,
Right.
go ahead. So finish
Oh
what you're
yeah,
saying.
so the lady, went
That's
through explaining. Mind you, this was a situation where they had bought the stuff. She didn't drive. I literally took her stuff to her, sat down. This was back when we
So
actually.
you're an LPN and you don't drive and you didn't made $9,000 more in your income. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Yep,
I'm judging
exactly.
that.
Right, all of that, right? And so, I wonder if she still live in your district.
Uh-oh.
She lives in
say
your
that.
district.
Why would you say that? She gonna know
Why
I'm
you
talking
should
about her.
have
She gonna know I'm talking about her.
And so yeah, she might still, but took her stuff, and this was like some years ago. Like we were still printing. Now, so this might have been 2010, because I think 2010 is when we stopped printing stuff. Everything went
Yeah.
virtual. So took her stuff, going over it. And girl, she was upset. And first of all, she was like, well, I need to know what my money paid for. This is what she said to me. Okay, but you went to one of those pump and dump places, literally paid them $200 more than what you're paying me. And I come with a degree and 10, 15 years of experience. That's what you pay for.
She was saying 10 plus years. I just want to clean that
I
up
know.
a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, 10 plus years.
10 fucking years. Anywho, it's getting real good, y'all.
It's getting juicy.
They get juicy, pulling Coronas out their bag under the table. Okay.
And so I'm going
I
over.
pray this woman don't live in a district. Go ahead.
Going over.
Look,
her
I pray
stuff.
she don't either.
And she was upset. She was like, well, I don't understand. I got, why? I mean, I got $2,000 more last year. And I said, well, kind of looking at it, you no longer qualify for earned income credit. You made $9,000 more than you made last year. This woman said, oh, I ain't going to make that much next year. I'm just not going to make that much next year. I don't play.
The tax
I said-
refund is not a retirement plan.
I said, I'm sorry, you said you don't want to make more money next year? Because
You're gonna sacrifice $9,000 for
for
$2,000.
I said, oh, okay, well, you have
The
a
tax
nice,
refund is
here's
not
all
a
your
savings
stuff.
account.
Come on, say that. I like all these are t-shirts. Come on, we about to come out with a. We should do that. Let's come together and do a tax, financial kind of line. First of all, I'm sick of these heifers. No, I'm tired of these heifers. A tax return is not a 401k plan. A tax return is not a savings account. Like, just write them down. We're going to just text each other.
I just couldn't believe that. I was dumbfounded.
We're going to be rich.
I couldn't believe that she
And I can put that on my tax return payment, my payment plan.
This is when we become so successful. It's like, dang it, we owe taxes. But here's the question: who told you owing taxes was a bad thing?
Oh, our grandmamas.
Yeah, again, you talking about the grandmamas that didn't work, that was sitting at home with the babies? The ones that didn't owe a thing?
Right, my Katie, her Josephine. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Well, Josephine worked at Social Security.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but
Mama Leggy didn't work.
Mama Leggy didn't work. But they both said it. Girl, don't owe them white folk nothing. Mind you, the white folk was your daddy.
Right.
You was a half white folk yourself. So you got
Girl, you got 1% black, you black.
right. Well, yeah, we are.
You're not Caucasian, you black.
But understand
Caucasian.
But understanding like
Oh, you don't know who said that?
No.
Tiger Woods.
Oh, my.
He was Caucasian.
Caucasian. Yeah.
Oh,
I
didn't
just told you
know.
about him that way. And his ex-wife got $110 million.
Hey,
Baby.
hey.
I
I'd have
think-
been Tiger Woods' ex-wife
You know-
for that too. What that prenup looking like?
And it was only $20 million. And she signed it. And so she signed a prenup for $20 million.
But the clause was he can't cheat.
And the clause was he can't cheat. And so when they went before a judge, and the judge said, your time, and it's funny because I say this all the time, and I didn't know this until the other day. I just so happened to be studying the transcripts from the trial. Don't
Okay.
care.
And look, no, that's how your brilliant minds work.
Auntie, that's how ADHD works.
Okay.
Right? And so it's like, I wonder, what was the transcript of that trial?
Wow.
And so the judge literally said to her, your time was the most valuable commodity. And I say that all the time. And I was like, wow, that's dope. I say it. And awarded her $110 million, which was $20 million per year. She was with them, and then 10 for the half of the year, right?
Oh, wow.
And so
Did she get alimony? She got alimony too, right?
she has
I'm sure
an
she has
annuity. It's an
alimony.
but it's an annuity. It's
Okay.
annuity based. This is a little different because her alimony was set up in a way, it was a specific type of trust, and I'm reading this,
Okay.
I'm like trying to understand it, but it allows her to like demolish the old house, fund a Habitat for Humanity project. I mean, like
Nice. Okay.
my champion occurred.
So since we're talking about
Check.
alimony, because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that was enacted last year, any alimony payments starting after tax year January 1st, 2018 are no longer, December 31st, 2018 are no longer tax deductible.
Ah, dang.
So if your divorce happened before then, you could still be in good standing to write off the alimony payment. And those of you who are receiving alimony, it is considered taxable income.
Ah.
Wow, that's messed up. So you still have to claim it as income, but then the person paying it can't write it off?
No, if it depends on when the
the
divorce
divorce
happened.
happened.
So if it happened if it happened in 2019, you can't write it off. You don't have to claim the income.
Oh,
if it
okay.
happened
Either
before
one.
then
I've been divorced 3 times. Y'all check your stuff and call me and let me know.
And your mind.
Girl.
Oh.
In my mind. Okay, anyway.
Alimony, that would be something nice to get.
Baby.
Oh Lord Jesus.
I get spousal.
No, I don't know, because I kind of feel like you got alimony, you got an ex-husband that comes with that. I don't necessarily know that.
Right, I mean, I have the ex-husbands. I don't have the alimony.
Oh,
Right.
If
I already got
that's
that.
All
right.
right. Can I get some alimony?
Can I get some alimony?
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Dang on it. You gotta set it up.
I just want a pool
I know.
boy.
A pool boy.
Yeah,
She
I
said
need me a pool boy.
I don't want that. I might drown him. My tolerance, my patience for things. My patience. Like, what is you doing?
That's why he the pool. He comes over and then he leave.
You gotta have a pool first. You gotta have a pool.
That's true.
I'll be like, go ahead, build me a
Wait a
pool.
minute. Or you can just have
The
a
boy.
pool boy.
The boy. Okay, so look, we're coming down to our time. Naya, where did we find you? How did we support you?
So I
I'm
am
from Texas to pool boy.
Oh Lord Jesus!
'Cause that's taxable
Wait a minute.
deduction.
Let me just say that I do love my husband.
Oh, and you know what? It was something I was gonna ask you.
Okay.
Greygraye.
AY.
People normally mess your name up.
Absolutely. So it's gray like the color, and then I had to look up what's the difference. So gray with an E is actually European,
Yeah.
and gray with an A is the American version. But for whatever reason, people like GREY. So yes, I spell it all out.
That's only because of we see Earl Grey tea. It's still spelled with an E, and so there's certain things that
That's the
are-
worst
Which is
type of
European.
tea on. That's the
I love Earl Grey.
I will
love
give you
Earl
all the bags of Earl Grey. That's like
Send
an
them
old
to
man
me.
tea.
Thank you.
That's the one in the gray
the
bag?
great
Yes,
bag.
ugh.
He do something to him at the road.
Oh jeez.
He makes me happy.
Oh, that's why it's so
That's
deep.
why it's so deep.
It's so deep.
Hey, sir. So how do we find you? Where do
You
we
can find me
Earl.
on Facebook,
Earl.
First Step Accounting, and it's the number 1 ST, STEP, and then ACCOUNTING. Kiana is laughing at me because this is on my
sound like a
voicemail.
rhyme. Yeah.
It's on my voicemail because people will type in one step account instead of accounting, or it's first step accounting. So that's 1 STEP ACCOUNTING. And you can find me that on Facebook as well as
That
Instagram.
was ALOT.
And then firststepaccounting.com if you are interested in having a 15-minute consultation to tell me all of your financial and tax issues.
Can old clients come back?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm coming back. I need to come
You
back.
can hit that green contact us button that's on the bottom right hand of the
Contact
screen
us.
and hit schedule an appointment. You will notice that it says new clients start here. Schedule that appointment, not any other, if I have never ever talked to you before.
I like
Can I
her
change my
voice.
voice? Like, hi, how you doing? This is Toy Rose, the client.
But if you want to follow me personally and see all of my shenanigans, you can follow me, Nayo Carter Gray, NAYOCARTERGRAY.
I love her. She is just like Sesame Street.
Because it's so long,
love
right?
it.
I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. Now, if you send me a friend request on Facebook, please let me know where you came from, because I get all these random friends and I'm like, I don't know
You
you.
preaching to the choir, girl. Let me tell you.
I have 100 and something waiting.
Oh.
700 and something waiting. And so I'm going to I have to figure out a way to move those 700 people and say, look, I'm going to create a new page or follow a different page or something, because at this point, I'm never going to go through all those people to see who they are. And they just keep coming. They just keep coming. Just keep coming.
That's what happens when you get into politics.
Ew, girl, I was blowing up before that. Ew, you know?
Now
so,
you
about
at
to
a whole
blow
new
up.
level.
girl,
On new level.
New
I'm on
level.
a new level.
New levels, new levels.
I'm on-
So really quickly, I want to just give a shout out to Lisa Borden and Borden Transportation. Lisa was on our show a couple of weeks ago, and she mentioned that they will be doing some hiring, not because they did firing, but because their company is expanding. So I know, right? And so,
We had to mention the firing.
well, because people are like, oh, it was just on there, fully booked. They fired people. This is not Amazon.
Nice.
So no, she's doing some hiring because they are expanding their business. So they are looking for part-time chauffeurs. There's
Nice.
a very good compensation plan. You definitely want to be with a business that has a plan for longevity. So for anyone who is looking for some additional part-time work, you may know that you're going to owe on taxes, or you might just want to make some additional income. You want to look at Lisa Borden's company, which is Borden Transportation. I'm going to channel my inner Nayo and spell it. It's BORDEN Transportation. I ain't spelling that.
Somebody in the live, please type that out for all of the other guests.
Yes, please help us. Make sure that you went to a Baltimore City school, so I know you spell it right. Preferably Western or
Oh,
Lake
don't,
Clifton.
don't do that. Lake Clifton is.
Doesn't even exist anymore.
Oh, the
So-
shade.
Yeah, that was. I was like this.
Is that reach? Is that reach?
But I got an MBA though.
Oh, I mean, listen, you're right. Because, baby, I was like, go back to school. No. Yes, maybe, I don't know. So, again, Lisa Borden, shout out to her, and Borden Transportation. I also want to shout out, do we have another event coming up?
You doing Baltimore Day in Annapolis?
Baltimore Day in Annapolis. Thank you so much. February 3rd, Monday. Baltimore Day in Annapolis. Tori Rose, Kiana B. Jones, and maybe even Niall Carter. We're going to have a bunch of community people coming together. We want your own individual organizations to come out and get on the bus with us. We're leaving from Mondawmin and going down to Annapolis. This is in partnership somewhat with what the city is doing, but we wanted it to be nonpartisan, right? So you don't have to be a part of the mayor's office. You don't have to be a Democrat or a Republican. You can just be someone who wants to make sure your voice is being heard in Annapolis. It's to hear what is happening in Baltimore City's budget, what the upcoming plans are, and to get down there and show up and show out if we have to. And so y'all bring the chicken boxes, I'll bring the hot sauce and the salt, pepper, ketchup, and we're going to go ahead and have a good time. Chicken boxes on the bus.
So February 3rd.
February
and that's why I
3rd.
thought you brought up
Make sure
Lisa,
you bring
'cause
some
they're
wet naps.
Sponsoring the bus.
Bring the wet naps. Lisa Borden is sponsoring the buses.
Nice.
We are.
Thank you, Lisa
Thank
Borden.
you, Lisa Borden. Girl, I love them. Love her. Kelly. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. And so we're leaving at 4. Get there on time. You know, we might
You get
give you
there. The time is 3:59.
3:59 and 59 seconds. We might pull out about 4:10. We might be a little gracious.
Oh,
Depends
Lord
on how God
Jesus.
is treating me that
The
day.
time is 3:59
Well,
p.m.
we don't have. Well, yes, Mama has spoken. 3:59 p.m. Get there,
As you know, you
and we want to get there, and we want to pack this bus. So
Yeah.
we already have had 2 people call me today, 2 different organizations. So I'm excited about Maryland Corps being there. I'm excited about the young teens who have reached out and said that they're coming. And so, guys, we want to get down and show Baltimore.
And it's on Eventbrite.
And there is an Eventbrite. We'll post it. We'll share it. Don McKay will post it, share it. February 5th at Chef Bobby D's. Come out and meet Tori Rose. Everybody say they know me. You know me? Come on out. It's my birthday fundraiser, meet and greet.
She gives good hugs.
I do. You know, they be like, woo, woo, woo. And even though I've lost all this weight, woo, 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 I've had 3 people mention all the weight I've lost. Like, oh, you're getting skinny. But I still give good hugs. So come on out. I smell like shea butter and stuff.
Okay.
And then the Ravens didn't make it to the Super Bowl. We're sad about it.
Special election is
Special election,
February 4th.
February 4th. My birthday. So I'll be working the polls somewhere, I guess, maybe.
The voting polls.
I mean,
voting
and if it
polls.
gets too bad, I'll be the voting polls.
Hey,
February 4th. I'm grateful to
dancers have to pay taxes too.
Wow. You got to twerk and then work. Okay? No worries. All right, guys. So listen. Now it's time
To say goodbye.
to all our loving friends.
I was, you know what I was going to say? I was thinking,
MIC,
well, no, it all came together. It was MIC and then Barney. Like, all of it just collided in my brain. Right? It was like, MIC. It was like everything.
I got it.
I'm sorry. It just collided in my
try
brain.
again.
Right.
And now it's time to say goodbye.
To all our viewing audience.
Friends.
Friends.
N-A-Y.
CARTERGRAY.
Yes, I love her. And so this has been an amazing The Connected Corner. We love you guys. We want you to continue to follow us. Stay tuned. There are some exciting things in store for us, but you got to stay tuned.
Next week.
Next week, we're going to do something a little different. So we're not going to be here broadcasting live from the Radio on Fire show. But you got to stay tuned to figure out what it is that we're going to do, right? Also, drop your show suggestions, right? We want to see that.
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo? And we might potentially be able to have Nayo come in on those 5th Tuesdays, right? Because one thing we want to make sure we do is we stay financially and fiscally responsible all year round. And I can be honest, that is something that I struggled with. I had a friend named Mel, God rest her soul, who taught me some very, very bad financial habits. And I used to pray all the time, like, God, where did this come from? And one day he reminded me, like, remember she set you there? She hit me to the game. It was the wrong game.
Oh, but let me tell you, the government has got rid of that game. If you haven't noticed, the W-4 has changed. There's no more personal exemption, so none of you can write 99 on your W-4 anymore. It's gone.
You gotta write an
So-
actual amount.
Yeah, write an amount. And so some of those things that we've learned throughout the years have stuck with us. So guys, let's be fiscally responsible. Let's do better. This is Vision 2020. I also want to give a shout out and acknowledgement to my friend, my sister girl, Crystal Smith Nichols, who was on our show August 6th, and she came in and she talked about the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And she talked about the connective tissues and how it's a life-threatening syndrome. And she was traveling all around the country and teaching and educating. And Crystal unfortunately passed away.
Aww.
And so on Friday, I got the phone call that one of my good sister girls just died, you know. And so it's one of those things where you be like, what you mean she just died? Like, what? And so Crystal's birthday is June 3rd, 79. And so she's very young. And she has an 8-year-old daughter. She died the day after her husband's birthday. Isn't that crazy? Day after her husband's birthday and 3 days before her daughter's birthday. And so I just want everybody to wrap their arms around the Nichols family, around her daughter Faith, around her husband Wayne, around her father, who has lost, in 5 years, he lost his son, his wife, and his daughter to the same disease.
Oh, wow.
And so there is definitely something in this EDS that we want to continue to push and continue to talk about and continue to advocate for. And we want to make sure that Black and brown communities know that this is also something that's plaguing us. So she was my good girlfriend. We were together for 11 years, and I love her, and I'm grateful for the time. You know, it's been a tough week, but I'm grateful for the time. When I think about all of the jokes and laughs and texts and individual side eyes from across the room and sister girl moments, I didn't have to have any of that. You know, because this disorder she found out when she was 16, it could have killed her then. And so God was gracious enough to extend her time here. And so her funeral is Friday. You guys wear purple on Friday if you can, to honor my friend, purple, white, and black. She was the purple zebra.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we just want to shout her out. And last thing, I want to say thank you to the mayor's office of Baltimore, because they emailed me right back, and they're going to give us a special proclamation for Crystal and the work that she's done.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm honored that Mayor Jack Young did that. I also received a phone call back from the governor's office and from Baltimore County. So let's see how many people are going to come together and actually honor Crystal. So we're excited. So that's it. I'm all announced out.
All right. So again, we want to say good night.
Good night.
God bless.
God bless. It's been real.
It's been
Peace and
real.
blessings. Share, tag, post.
The
And we'll see
Connected
you
Corner.
soon. It's the Connected Corner. We look good. And get it. Get it. Yes, we are coordinated. Take us home. Ew. Cut it off.
Hey,
Cut it off.
hey, hey.
Thank you. Love y'all.